And also, if you would like to work with me as one of my private clients, I have very few spaces. I only work with a very select number of clients. But you can go there and you can look at the one-on-one consulting and find out what it takes to be able to work with me. Because if you really want to reach your deep greatness, if you want to really tap into that part of you, that soulful part of you that's not really at access, that's how you do it, my friend. Because listen, nobody does it alone. It's not possible. All right, I have the beverage in hand. Let's have a look what it says today. The beverage in hand, of course, from the appropriate venue. And if I don't know if you can see, there it is. Yes, today I am Duff. Cheers, Duff. What does your Starbucks say? I have no idea. But mine also says some strange name, as you know. And I'd love to share that with you at the beginning of every show. All right, we're going to jump into the show. Are you ready? I'll get my sip. Have you got your coffee? Let's grab a seat, make ourselves comfortable, and we're going to dive right in. All right. I just want you to know something. Something you probably don't know. Oh, let's take these off. Something you probably don't know. And that is, I see you. I see you. I know you're hiding under the comfort, this cloak of comfort, but I see you. I see that part of you that you often won't even reveal to yourself. I see your beautiful rage and your warts of war. And I know that you hide from those things. You turn your back on the beast within you. But that beast within you is an important part of you. You want your life to be joyous and easy and fun, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that. I want that in my life too. But that's not exclusive from the beast. There is a beast within you. Your mind has been softened by the commercial media that tries to tell you that how you need more softness. You believe that it's been easy for them, but it's been hard for you. And you want it to be easier. And I get that. I want it to be easier for me too. But there is more to you than the softness. Let's imagine for a moment that you and I, we're on holiday. We're in Africa. And we're walking along this magnificent beach. And there's nobody else there. And we come to this cliff edge that goes up so high as we stand on the sand, looking out at this gorgeous, gorgeous ocean in front of us. It's so beautiful. We can hear the waves crashing on the beach. And as we hear those waves crashing on the beach, we notice a few stones. And you and I walk over, we pick up the stones. And like little kids, we begin skipping the stones on the water. And as we skip the stones across the water, I suddenly reach down and pick up this stone, and I look at it. And I don't know why, but I decide I'm going to keep that one. So I put that stone in my pocket. And then you and I continue to skip stones and have a great time enjoying the beautiful place that we're at. And a little while later, maybe a week later, you and I are on the plane, we're coming back. We're sitting on the plane next to each other talking about this amazing trip and how fabulous it was and how wonderful it was. And I reach in my pocket and I pull out the stone. And you say, "What's that?" "That's a stone from that place we were at, that beach we were at." "Really? Why do you keep a stone?" "I don't know. I don't know why I kept the stone. I just felt there was something special about this stone, something unique." "Like what?" you say. "I don't know. Maybe it's a diamond." We both laugh. The week after, I find myself in New York, in that diamond district of New York, around my Hasidic brothers, in that place where they polish all the diamonds. And I decide, just for fun, I'm going to walk in there and have a chat with one of the guys, and I get inside and I'm having a chat with one of the guys, and I start showing him my stone. And I say, do you think it's a diamond? I don't know, he says. I've no idea if it's a diamond. We'd have to find out. Well, how would you find out? How are you going to know if it's a diamond? We're going to have to break it open. What do you mean you're going to have to break it open? We're going to have to break open the stone. We're going to have to crack open the stone. We're going to have to take the stone and we're going to have to push it against the grindstone. We're going to have to take your stone and push it against the grinder so hard that everything that is on the outside, everything that is encrusted upon it will be pushed away and will reveal. And what you may have at the end of it is a bunch of dust. But what you may have at the end of it is a magnificent, beautiful diamond. Wow. I'm excited. Hey, I got nothing to lose. Let's do it. So, I hand the stone over, and he takes the stone, and he puts the stone's edge against the grindstone. He takes that stone, and he pushes it against the grindstone. And as he does, the clay, the dirt, the grub, all that stuff that had been jammed on the surface is suddenly taken away. It's removed. And I begin to see something that looks like glass glimmering through what was previously just a rock. This is pretty exciting. He tells me, go away. Come back tomorrow. Really? You want me to come back? Yeah, come back tomorrow. We're going to see what this is really like. So the following day, I come back, and as I come back, he shows me the stone. It doesn't look anything like the rock that I gave him. Now it's a beautiful, magnificent diamond. I said, who would have known there was a diamond in there? He says, most people would never have guessed. Most people would never know. But most people are not willing to put their rock against the grindstone. You've been coated in your conditioning. You've been coated in all those things that have made you hidden. The beast within you is the diamond. It is the thing that needs to be polished. But in the softness of life, in your craving of the softness, you've lost perspective. You've lost touch with that diamond. Very recently, I was honored to have on my show Peter Sage. Peter Sage is a global entrepreneur, a very highly successful man, a great teacher, a man who has mentored some of the most successful people in the world. I've been honored to have him as a friend for many, many years, for about 15 years now. And I got to interview him, and to be the first interview he gave after he came out of prison. Yes, he served time in prison. 6 months in prison. Now wait for this. He served 6 months in prison with no criminal record. He never committed a crime. Can you believe that? He got 6 months in jail, never committed a crime, actually was committed because of contempt, which is a whole other subject, and we can get into that on another show. But because of contempt, he was placed in prison. He served 6 months, not just in prison, not just in some white-collar prison because he was in there for contempt, but he got to serve 6 months in jail in one of the most difficult prisons in the UK. He got to serve in Pentonville. Pentonville is famous for how rough it is. That, my friends, is an example of the rock being pushed against the grindstone. Now, here's the thing about Peter. He was already super successful. He was already mentoring and coaching and helping all kinds of people. He was already on the world stage. In many ways, he was already a diamond. And the truth of the matter is, that grindstone that is Pentonville prison, that could have crushed him. But what he chose to do was he chose to have it polish him. So when he came out on the other side, Peter is not the same man who went inside. He was already a diamond, but now he's refined. And what that prison did was that ground away a little more of the ego, revealed facets that he didn't even know were there. Because we don't know, because we hide from the shadow self. We hide the beast within us. We hide that part of us that is so absolutely magnificent. We want the comfort, we want the ease, we want those wonderful things, but we forget that they're not exclusive. They're not simply, you don't just get them. You have to go against the grindstone. It's important for you to go against that. Robert Bly, one of the most famous American poets, talked about this in Iron John. If you get a chance to read Iron John, I highly recommend it. It comes from the German fairy tale Iron Hans. Iron John. And in Iron John, he talks about that beast within us, the wild part of us, that so few will ever discover, that so few people will ever even know, even exists. We don't even know about this wild part of us, but it's under the surface. It's at that place deep within our soul where it exists. That's where it is. That's what you've got to get access to. And he talks about it as being this wild part of us that is repressed and held under the water of our psyche, and that we have to bail out this wild beast within us. It's even referenced in, I'm sure you're a fan of Game of Thrones, many of you. Game of Thrones talks about the wildling. What do you think the wildling is? It's a representation of the wild part of us, the part of us that is willing to live in that place on the other side of the wall. Think about it. On the other side of the wall where the most dangerous creatures exist, the wildlings embrace that. They go live there. It is the strength that comes from that place that so few are willing to embrace, so few can step into, so few have the courage to bail out that water of the psyche to find that deep wild self within. But we're afraid of it. We're afraid of that truth of who we actually are, what's really underneath. We become terrified of it. But without it, we're half ourselves. Without it, pieces of who we really are missing. And so what happens instead is we begin to go to polarity. And the polarity is we become these testicle-free men, ovary-free women. We don't have the chutzpah, we don't have the balls, we don't have the courage that we need to do the things that we need to do in order to get to the places that we need to get to. Listen, when I was a kid, I went to a secular school. And in that secular school, I was one of two Jews in the entire school. The other one was the headmaster, but nobody knew he was Jewish. He hid it. And every day, I would go to school, and every day, kids would do this to me. It wasn't like talk to the hand. It was way before that. It was, the Jews killed our Lord. I didn't kill anybody. Why are they picking on me? Why was I getting shit? And every day, this very soft young boy that I was, this, as I've talked to you about before, this highly sensitive kid, had to go up against that grindstone day after day, having my face pushed up against the grindstone. And then finally, at 11 years old, I thought, oh my God, this is going to be so much better, because I got transferred. I get to go to high school. What's high school? I get to go to the King David High School. What's that? It's a Jewish high school. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so great, because nobody's going to be doing this to me anymore. Isn't that going to be awesome? I'm going to be so excited about going to that place. Oh, I'm so excited. It's going to be so wonderful. And the day I get there, the first day of school, I land at the gate. I walk up, because I walked from school after getting a bus. And I watch the other kids arriving at school. And they're arriving in their Rolls Royces, in their Bentleys, in their Jags. They're arriving in all these beautiful cars and clearly having a ton of wealth. And once again, I'm a member of the minority. There are 3 poor kids in the school, and I'm one of them. And every day I get ridiculed because my uniform is second hand. my shoes are second hand because I don't look as good, as clean, as good as those kids. And every day I envy them. Every day I wish my life was that easy. I wish that I came to school in a Bentley. I wish that I got the things that they got. I wish that when they talked about what they got for their bar mitzvah or what they got for a birthday was so much better than what I thought I got. And I envied those kids every single day. But you know what? Today, those kids envy me. Today, I get to serve many of the people who grew up very wealthy, and they want what I've got. They want to know how to access that soulful part of themselves. They want to know how to access that part of themselves that is deeply true, that soulful part of themselves, that deep greatness that lies within. The sad thing is, many of them are too afraid to encounter the beast within them. That's where it really counts. It's the willingness to put your face to the grindstone, your willingness to embrace what is so difficult, because it will either destroy you or it will make you better. Now here's the thing, the problem with the society that we live in is, as I said, commercial media has made us soft. And we look around at people and we go, oh, well, he's tough or she's tough. Why? Because they don't cry. Because they don't feel. That's not tough, that's armored. Do not confuse armored with tough. Armored and tough are vastly different things. We have got to grow calluses. We have to grow calluses, not on our hands, but on our hearts and our souls. Not to make us harder, but to allow us to face the difficulties. You don't get calluses in the armor. So when you tell me that somebody is tough because they don't feel or they don't cry or they don't get upset, that's not a statement of tough. That's a statement of armored. And armored is vastly different than strong or tough. It is vastly different. Feeling your feelings, that is tough. That's what it really takes. That's the beast. You've got to be willing to embrace the beast, because the beast will cry. The beast also has rage and anger and all those kinds of things. It has a full range of feelings. Do you? Of course you do, but are you willing to access them? Look, my father gave me inadequacies. My mother gave me inadequacies. My stepfather gave me insecurities. My grandfather gave me insecurities. Do I like those things? Of course not. But those things, those were the birth of the beast. Those are the inception of the beast. That is where I got access to the deep greatness that so many of us crave and will never find, because we turn our back on those things. Listen, your insecurities are not there to make you quit. Your inadequacies are not there to give you permission to quit. I know it feels easy. It feels like that's the much better way to go. But your inadequacies are not there to make you quit. Your inadequacies are there to challenge you, to bring up your skills, to upgrade who you are, to have you embrace the beast that is within you. That is the truth of who you are. That is what it really takes, is to embrace the beast. You must make friends with your fear. Because one day, my friend, like it or not, you and I are going to die. And somebody will stand at the front of that room and they will say all the wonderful things about you. The question is, what will they whisper in the back? Because they have to say nice things at the front, but they don't at the back. So what will they whisper about you? Will they whisper that you were nice, but God, we never knew the person? Will they whisper that you were tough because you were armored, but they never really knew you? Or will they whisper that they saw you in all your glory? Because I see you. I see your warts of war. I see you beneath the armor, in the deep greatness that is you. Embrace the beast. A good life, a joyous life, is not exclusive of the beast, but the beast will give you what it takes for you to break the bars open, to crush down the wall of the prison you've built for yourself in the softness of the media, in the softness of comfort, so that you get hidden. Reveal yourself. Embrace the beast. Make friends with your fear. Stay curious, my friend. Stay curious about what it takes to reveal your beast.